Hey everybody, it's Lon Seib, it's time for another unboxing, and we just got in the new 8bitdo M30 controller. This is a Sega-inspired device, and it looks a lot like the 6-button Sega Genesis controller. Now, in full disclosure, this came in free of charge from 8bitdo. However, I also bought one, which I should be getting on its release day as well, but they sent this to the channel a little bit early so we could get a head start on our review. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. Nobody is paying for this unboxing, nor has anyone reviewed or approved it before it went up. So let's unbox the controller first, and there's another little doodad here that goes with it. So here it is, and like other 8bitdo controllers, it works over Bluetooth and USB. So you can hook it up to your Nintendo Switch, your PC, you get X input capabilities, and then with this little guy, which we'll take a look at in a second, you can also install it with your original Sega Genesis hardware, and I would imagine other devices that worked with Sega controllers. So here is the controller itself. It feels very, very nice in the hand, very similar to that 6-button Genesis controller feel. So you can see you've got a nice rock here on the D-pad. This is very similar to how the original Sega Genesis 6-button controller was. You had a very rocky kind of D-pad there, and they said they spent a lot of time trying to get that look and feel to it. It feels pretty nice, actually. What's hard when you get these new controllers is that oftentimes when you're using the originals are starting to feel a bit stiffer, partly because they're old. So this does feel pretty nice and similar to what I think it felt like back when I got one of these controllers for my original Sega Genesis. We got 3 buttons here, A, B, and C, and X, Y, and Z, so you can play Street Fighter with it. You also have 2 shoulder buttons here, L and R. You've got a USB Type-C port here, which you use to plug in for charging, as well as connecting it up to PCs and whatnot. Compatibility is listed here, so Switch, Windows, Android, Mac OS, and Steam. And here's the back of the packaging, in case you're curious. Works with the Raspberry Pi, too. Now, the other thing they sent over is the retro receiver. Now, they have made these for Nintendo consoles in the past, and what this lets you do is connect up the controller here via wireless connections to the controller port on the original hardware. And this is what it looks like here. I think there's a USB port on here for updating firmware. I think it's powered by the controller port itself, like it is on the Nintendo versions. And what you can do is not only connect this controller, but any other 8bitdo controller as well. These things work across their entire product line. So if you wanted to use their arcade stick or something with your Sega Genesis, you could do that. This is also going to be useful for the upcoming analog console, the Super SG, which will replicate the Sega Genesis with a FPGA-based device, and this will, of course, plug into that console so you can use this controller with it. But I'm pretty happy with how this feels on first blush here. Really nice, high-quality plastic here. It's got a good feel to it. Very, very comfortable. They've put a lot of work into this one. It feels good. So what we're going to do is get all this stuff hooked up, and we'll have a full review up on my main channel at lon.tv. And they have a review embargo on this, so this will probably go up in the morning, and the review will go up later in the evening. So stay tuned. A lot more to come on this one, and I am eager to play some Sega games with this controller because I've been playing Sega games in emulation on a lot of these Nintendo-inspired controllers, and I'm eager to get something designed for Sega. So stay tuned. A lot more to come.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.tv supporters, including gold level supporters Chris Allegretta, the 4 Guys with Quarters podcast, Tom Albrecht, and Kalyan Kumar. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to lon.tv/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit lon.tv/s.